2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Hour Tournament Primer. My name is Stefanis Kokis. With me is Tommy Costa, Scott McCausland, and Dr. Corey Coburn.
Oh, hi.
They're here to talk to you today about the Mission Submission Tournament up in Edinboro, coming up on November 21st, 2015. So this has a little bit of history. This is the 5th tournament you guys are running. Why don't you take us back through, how you started and everything.
Go ahead, Scott.
So quite a few years ago, we decided, hey, wouldn't it be great if we had a tournament where we didn't have to drive 2 to 3 hours or even longer? So, we got together, and he works at the university. We train at different schools. We've been friends for quite a while, and we thought, let's partner up and let's do something. So, he is able to get us a great venue at the Edinboro University Sports Dome. And, we scrounge between the teams to make sure we have enough help. And we really try to put on a super inexpensive but fulfilling event. Everybody's guaranteed at least 4 matches, double elimination in both divisions. Women compete free. We really want to try to push women's jiu-jitsu. I can think of on 2 fingers the number of ladies we have training with us. And Corey's got quite a few training with him. And we thought, what better opportunity than for our event to let women come in and compete for free. Last event, we started doing a women's absolute for the gi and no gi. And, we're just trying to push this event to be inexpensive and give people a great opportunity to come in, roll, and get the heck out. We don't do super fights. We don't do any of that stuff that wastes a ton of time. Come in, get as many rolls in as you can, and then, go home if you're driving and try to have an early day. So that's that's what we're looking for.
Now, Scott, you said something interesting, and I'm glad you said it because it was on our list, one of my list of demands for the tournament. We want to be near. We want the women's matches to happen near where we have our cameras.
Done.
So
done.
We want that for sure. We want, and we tried at the last tournament we did to really showcase as many women's matches as we can, because you're right. There's a lot of hard work that they're putting in, and they deserve a lot of the attention too. And there were some great matches.
Absolutely.
For sure. A couple things that, we've been to so many different tournaments, and we look at all the different things that we feel work well at the tournaments, and we try to make a real point to employ those things. And then the things that don't seem to work well at tournaments, for example, one of the primary things that we do every time is, for example, start on time. We want to start on time. We hate waiting. We've all been to those tournaments where you just wait and wait and wait, we like to have all the mats running at all the time. You release tournaments where you look around and you're like, why are these mats empty? So we try to do our best to keep all the mats full. And, honestly, one of the hardest things for us to do each year is to get enough referees, because we want to have at least 12 mats going at all the time.
Right. So do you guys do pre-registration on the website?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
It lasts until November 15th. You get a $10 discount registering for one or multiple divisions. And, if you haven't pre-registered yet, get them in. Time is flying by before this event's going to kick off. So time's getting exciting right now. We're also selling T-shirts this event. Only if you pre-register. We may have a few for you to purchase at the day of the tournament, but we're really trying to push that pre-registration. So you can get an opportunity to grab a T-shirt as well when you pre-register.
A part of the fact that, we want to keep it cheap, so we don't want to have any waste, so that's probably one of the reasons that we're just doing a pre-registration only for the T-shirts.
Yeah, don't, well, if you're going to waste any, waste them on us.
Okay.
Okay.
That's number 2 on the list of demands.
Done.
We need like a folding table of some sort, maybe a couple of chairs, access to electricity, and I think we should be good.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, we're good on that.
Okay, so about the pre-registration, since you guys have been doing this tournament for 5 years, and I remember how people used to be wary of pre-registration, like back in the day. It's not really a problem anymore, but I'd be like, man, I'm not pre-registering for that tournament. blah blah blah. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna have a match. So what do you guys see? Like, what's the split now? Do you get a lot more pre-registration now than you used to? And like, how does it go? Do you get a lot of people coming up and paying day of?
You know, originally we had a ton of people come the day of. And pre-registrations, we were in the 20s to 30s. You know what I mean? The numbers weren't
Right.
great. It was our first couple events, no big deal. The last few years, a lot of people have pre-registered, and not to toot my own horn, but I develop all the websites and the pre-registration myself. Right. So just to make sure that, I know that people are getting their registrations in, I send an email to everybody if I can after they register, let them know that I got their registration and their payment, and just kind of double check that everybody registered in the same division, or the right division, I should say. And, we just try to keep it as clean as possible. And because of that, we're getting a lot of pre-registrants. So it's exciting. We were hoping that the addition of a T-shirt would kind of skyrocket the pre-registrations, because every event up until now we haven't had any T-shirts at all. We haven't tried to jump into that arena, but this year we're doing it, and it's paying off. So registration is good. Lots of women pre-register. It's fantastic. It gives us an opportunity to gauge what we think the event's going to be. And I would say it's split down the middle right now. I don't have the exact number, but we have quite a few women and quite a few guys as well. So it's good. Things are looking okay right now.
Good. So let's talk rules. What gi and no gi rules, are they going to be the same, different? Give us the rundown.
We use the U.S. grappling rule set. Of all the rules, I think it promotes jiu-jitsu a lot better. There's a couple leg locks you're not allowed to do if you're in some of the advanced or the earlier divisions, and then advanced no gi pretty much gives you free reign. Advanced gi divisions, aside from some heel hooks and some other things, your options are available. If you're not a black belt and you're brown or under, I believe we have everything goes but the heel hook. So straight ankle locks, knee bars, things like that. So it's the rule set favors, somebody who wants to come in and be great at jiu-jitsu. And the U.S. grappling seems to put on a great event of their own. So we thought we'd adopt their rules and use them for ours as well.
Cool. Now, Corey, you run the Edinboro University Jiu-Jitsu Club, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit more about your experience in running a collegiate jiu-jitsu club, and maybe the differences between a tradition, like a brick and mortar academy that charges, money for profit?
Sure. Okay. So that's one of the main differences, of course. Let's see. That club was founded in the fall of 2009. Okay. And we first started, the club was only like basically 5 people that would meet, Now the average class size is probably closer to 30, in the 30s, and it's twice a week. All skill levels. So one thing there's a few things I definitely noticed. First off, obviously, it doesn't cost anything. Anybody can come, and everybody's welcome to come in and do some training.
Now, is that people, community members and students?
Yep, anybody can come in. Yep, anybody's welcome to come in. Mm-hmm. So a couple times a week, 6:30, till usually about 8 or so. We're usually done.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yep, Mondays and Wednesdays. I guess a few things you notice is the high turnover rate, because about the time people are getting good, they graduate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's always, most of the people that are there are white and blue belts. The higher ranks are locals, the people that have come and they just stay. So there's some purple belts that come down too. Like you said, since it's not for profit, that's how we can manage everything being so cheap.
Right.
The seminars, I think they're pretty much rock bottom. I charge pretty much I try to plan it to where exactly what I have to pay the guy. And that's the end of it,
You guys had Saulo Ribeiro last year, right? Or
correct.
Earlier this year, and then Kurt Osanders coming up, which I will be there, so I'll see you in
Saturday.
a couple days. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and as the seminar cost. I don't think you can beat it anywhere.
Yeah.
But
it's full, so
yeah,
you have to wait till
it's
next time.
full now.
It
is full.
Not trying to make anybody feel bad, but you got to jump on it.
Yep.
And the room that the seminar is held in, and do you guys hold practice in the Edinboro wrestling room as well?
Correct. Yes, the wrestling coaches have been very great about that.
Yeah, and can't remember all the names off the top of my head, but there's been some like legendary wrestlers and athletes that have gone through that room. So it's kind of like a crazy place for even just that setting. I think it's pretty awesome.
It's funny. Sometimes people will come in like to give seminars, and they'll go over and they'll see the names. They're painted on the wall. There's plaques on the wall, and they'll literally go over by these, your Chris Honeycutts and such. They'll go over and actually take a picture by the plaque.
Yeah, Jock Koscheck. I'm like drawing a blank now, but
yeah,
a lot of legendary wrestlers, and still now like a vibrant wrestling program. That's
Edinboro took third at nationals last year. I mean, in Division I. That's incredible.
Big waves. It's
the
crazy.
Coach was Coach of the Year. Am I wrong?
Coach Tim Flynn. That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, he's been great about helping the club too. He's real. He helps. He gives us the mat time. He understands what we're trying to do and what our goals are down there.
Yeah, I think it's important that if people are going to go support a tournament, they might as well come out to one that's not just a bunch of guys running around with the U-Haul and mats, renting out gymnasiums. You guys are doing it for a good cause and
for sure
for the right reasons, trying to get people experience. So
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I started training with Donald Park and Darren Branch in Cleveland probably 10 plus years ago. I drove from Erie to Cleveland, which is about an hour and a half each way. Tried to go down a couple times a week. And right at that cusp, gas hit like $4 a gallon. And I was like, man, this sucks. I'm not going to drive down anymore. So I found a local guy in town, Mike Rooney, who is now a black belt under Roy Harris. He was training in his basement. He had like 4 dudes. Corey was one of them, training in his basement on Saturday mornings and like Tuesday evenings. So stopped in there and realized what a great group of guys they were. And, 5 or 6 years later, we got a place of our own, a brick and mortar traditional academy. Guys come in, undergroundbjj.com, check it out. We got probably on average 15 to 25 guys a night. And got my brown belt last year. I'm just recovering from, I tore both menisci in my ACL in my right knee. So I just got back into the gym 2 weeks ago. So I'm pretty excited to be mobile for the tournament, especially. And I get to hit Corey's Kurt Osiander seminar. So yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while. And, I'm not as good as Corey, obviously, superstar wrestler and jiu-jitsu guy, but
he's exaggerating.
So,
what about
you? Oh, say again.
What about you, Corey?
I started jiu-jitsu back in January of 2002. Happened to run into Dan Swift, and and he got me involved with it. We went to high school together, and started enjoying it. A guy by the name of David Meyer promoted me to blue belt a few years later, and shortly after that, I actually moved down to Akron, and I found a place to train down there. Eduardo Barros, and started training down there pretty regularly, and he promoted me to purple belt, and then a few years later, which was a few years ago now, he promoted me to brown belt. So just continuing the quest.
Awesome. So guys, do you have any memorable matches or experiences from the past tournaments that stand out? Scott?
So from our last event, might have been last event, Cody Tuttle decided he was going to roll. And he jumped in there, and he said he brought his gi and he was ready to do some rolling. So he jumped in there, and he had some crazy matches. First of all, he's a freaking stud. If he's listening right now, dude, you're a stud. Secondly, he's always been super supportive, and having him giving us the opportunity to see him roll with a bunch of guys. He had a bunch of great matches. For me, that always stands out in my head that, he came up to be part of your guys' podcast and he's like, fuck it, let's jump in and roll. So I thought it was pretty exciting.
Cool. What about you, Corey?
For me, I think way back to when I first started doing jiu-jitsu tournaments in general, of course, every time you go to a tournament, you learn something new. There's always something different goes on, something weird or off. One time I had a match that was stopped in the middle of it just so we could sing the national anthem. Just random stuff that happens at tournaments. I went to the Arnold's one year, and they were short on referees, and I ended up refereeing, and which was really random, just things like that. But I don't know. I guess one reason I still like to compete and I like watching competition is because you kind of see what people are trying and what's actually working at the time. It seems like it's always changing,
Yeah, you got to stay relevant.
Yes.
I got one more question. And we'll wrap it up. Is the DJ coming back?
Absolutely. Believe it or not, he trains at our academy, and we do kind of a tit for tat. He DJs, we let him compete. So it ends up working out great. And so far, we've had no complaints. Maybe it's a little loud here and there, but I think it breaks up the grunting and the rest of the noises nobody wants to really pay attention to. So so far, so good.
All right.
We'll make sure they don't interfere with the podcast, though, for sure.
You'll be good.
Yeah, we'll point the mics the other way. I was actually my first tournament as a brown belt. I did it, I think it was 2011. Was that the first year or second year you guys did it?
That would have been first year. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Sweet, guys. Well, we're really excited for the tournament. You guys have any shout outs you want to give before we end the tournament primer?
Oh, go ahead, Scott.
No, go ahead.
I just personally want to thank Edinboro University for all the help they've given us, the Student Government Association, Bruce Baumgartner, Tim Flynn, and of course, Duty Burris, who's been a big inspiration for me.
I want to shout out to some of our sponsors, Defense Soap. I'm going to butcher this name because I have no idea how to say it, but Furakawa Kimonos. You can check it out on the website. And Insomniac DJ, that's our buddy who's DJing the site. So shout out to you guys too. We appreciate you guys coming up and kind of giving our some media time. It's exciting. And also shout out to Corey's crew who helps out at the tournament and my crew back at Underground. And we could thank everybody all day really, but we just need people at the event to make it great. So thanks to everybody who's pre-registered so far.
Yeah,
thanks.
Those of you guys that don't know, doing those live streams is what we really want to be doing. That's what we want to really pursue. We think we're pretty good at it. We see what's out there and we know what we're capable of, and we see what's out there that people are paying a lot of money for, and we think we can do it better. So if anybody's listening to this who runs tournaments, hit us up. Let's try to make something happen. We want to live stream your tournament and bring your matches to the world. There's a lot of really good regional guys that don't want to travel to New York City or LA or Long Beach to do a tournament, but they're still beasts. And so we want to do a lot of tournaments. I'd like to give a shout out to my gym, High Ground Jiu-Jitsu. If you guys want to train, Delmont, Pennsylvania, and our sponsor, Jiu-Jitsu Engineers, wearing one of their shirts. Thanks, guys. BJJ Hour 60 is the promo code on their website. Look them up, Jiu-Jitsu Engineers.
All right. Scott, Corey, where can people pre-register for the tournament at?
mission-submission.com. Check it out. The first bright link you see is orange. It says pre-register now. You can't miss it.
All right. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for now for this primer. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.